Here with head softball coach Dan Nessler. Coach, we'll just start right in. What are your goals for this season?
Well, I think after last year, we came through and won the regular season, and that was great. I mean, we hadn't done that before ever at Bethany. But I think the girls would feel like maybe they didn't accomplish everything they wanted because we got to the conference tournament, got to the finals, but we didn't come through. So, I mean, I think they've got their sights set on not only a regular season championship, but hopefully we can push through and win a conference tournament championship.
Well, that leads right into my next question. You had a school record wins last year. How will you look to build on that success?
Well, we're trying not to always classify the success by the total wins. And the reason I say that is we had a strong schedule last year, but not nearly as strong as this year. When we look at our first 18 games through Dome Ball here and then in Arizona, we play a lot of teams that were in the regional tournaments last year. And quite frankly, I think that's where I want to go with the program, is that's the kind of teams we want to compete with. So we have to play them, but that doesn't mean that we're going to go out and just start beating them, right? We have to learn how to do that. So I think at the end of the day, I tell the girls, let's get better every day. Let's fix our mistakes. Let's just keep getting better, and let's compete with those regional teams, and then I think we're in good shape.
Speaking of the Dome, you host the first 3 weekends in there this year. How was that able to get some home games in for your girls?
Yeah, it's going to be really good. You know, that the MSU Dome, the Maverick All Sports Dome, is big. It's going to allow us eventually to put 2 full compliant fields in there. But now we're going to do our doubleheaders. So we open up with St. Olaf. They're good. They were in the MIAC conference tournament last year. They had 27 wins. They've got an All-American pitcher, Julie Graff, who 2-time All-American, led the nation in strikeouts 2 years in a row. So, you know, we've got our hands full. Last year we were fortunate. We beat her, and then we wound up stealing a game at the end to sweep them last year, and I'm sure they're going to have some revenge on their mind.
Who are some of the key returners for you this year, and what have you seen from them in this early preseason?
Yeah, we've got some really good kids back. I mean, we graduated 2 kids last year, and those 2 kids I wouldn't classify were starters. So basically we had most everybody back. Now, we have some injuries. We had a transfer. We had somebody decide not to play softball, so we lost a few. But the bulk of our lineup is back. So when I start looking at them, I mean, I look at Haley Sobrero, one of our captains, as a leader. I'm looking for big things from her. Zoe Kanakin back at first base, first team all-conference like Haley was. We got a newcomer, Tara George from Shasta College in California, that is going to pitch and I think hit and be a really good player here at Bethany. Another Shasta kid, Alyssa Costa, an outfielder. So those kids are doing well. Anna Hoffman's back, Eden Ambrose. Cassidy Cunningham's a transfer pitcher from Bottineau, North Dakota. Looking for good things from Cassidy. And then we got Kaylee Mork and Sarah Pressler. We're inexperienced again, probably a little bit behind the plate. We've got Emma Young as a freshman, Liz Milam as a freshman will catch a little bit, and then Bella Lattery's coming back off of injuries. But they've all been working really hard, and I'm looking for good things there. And then, you know, we rounded out. I mean, Jasmine Bajarano is back. She played a lot last year. We got Taylor Kotke, a captain, back. Morgan Mashlin, Hannah Dosh, like I said, Bella Lattery. So, I mean, we've got a lot of kids back that did a lot of great things last year. So I think that our roster is in such a spot where I think we can compete with anybody.
You have 5 returners that are in the top 10 of career stolen bases. Do you try to be aggressive on the base path, or is that just part of their strength?
Well, I try to be when it presents itself. You know, I think 2 years ago we probably stole more bases because we needed to play that way because we didn't have the girls in the spots to really drive in a ton of runs. I think now with Zoe Kanakin and Haley Sobrero, Tara George, Alyssa Costa, when we start going through those kids, I think they're going to drive in a lot of runs. So I think you got to pick and choose. You don't want to run yourself out of innings, but at the same time, I think we can put a lot of pressure on people because we do have some speed.
The conference poll came out earlier this week. You're picked as the preseason favorite. I know coaches kind of have mixed feelings on those, but what was your takeaway from that release?
Well, we were excited. I mean, you know, when I started here 4 years ago, we had 7 wins. And last year we won our first conference championship ever, and now we've been voted by our peers to win it. So that starts, I think, to reaffirm what we're doing. We're getting the right kids. We're going in the right direction, and I think that media that's good stuff, you know. And I just hear from a lot of coaches from the MIAC, the WIAC, American River Conference, the coaches that I know, they know we're getting better. They know that we're somebody to reckon with, and that's just all good stuff, I think.
As we said, you open your season in the Dome, and then you go to Arizona and then come back for your conference schedule. How does your preparation stay the same or maybe differ with the different environments?
Well, I think it has to change a little bit. When you play in the Dome, there's some rules because the ball can hit the ceiling where if it hits the ceiling in fair territory, it's an out. If it hits the ceiling in foul territory, it's a foul ball. So I tell our kids we have to kind of readjust our strike zone. We don't need to swing at the ball at the top of the strike zone early in the count because of the roof. I think we can pitch to that being an advantage for us too at times, right? So, everybody wants to get outside in the dirt and play in nice warm weather. It's just not reality here in the upper Midwest, and so I think that the bubbles like the MSU All Sports Dome are great because we can hopefully get close to our 40 games in.
As you said, also, you have a very strong competition this year. You're not measuring success on wins, but in that Arizona tournament, you played the defending national champions, a couple other high-ranked teams. What do you look to accomplish in those contests?
Compete. Win or lose, I tell the girls every day, how are we competing and how are we reacting to stressful situations and how can we get better? And if we just keep getting better at those really high-level games and being in them and giving ourselves a chance, now we can go play with anybody in our region. And that's really what the goal is. I've said to a lot of my friends and peers, as strong as our schedule is, we could easily go 20-20 this year because there are so many teams top to bottom that we're in regionals, in national tournaments, and we're putting ourselves in a little different level by the competition we're playing, I believe. And I think first year out, it may not go great all the time, but let's not judge it on wins. Let's judge it on are we getting better and are we competing with these really good teams.